Do you look back at that time fondly or not?
Oh, it's definitely. I have fond memories of Beauty for Ashes. Absolutely.
Do you have specific stories that always come to mind?
I mean, there's a handful of trips that we did. There's just flashes and images that come into mind. Just different moments.
Dude, the shows are just a blur.
And they are to me, but they pop into my mind every now and then. But
it's definitely something that I look back to fondly. I mean, it's not like, oh, that was the best time of my life.
Right.
I figured it would be 15 years of doing it, right?
Between 10 and 15, somewhere.
Yeah.
If you include the early stuff in Green Olive Tree, yeah.
Do you have specific songs that you're more fond of as far as Beauty for Ashes songs?
Well, obviously because of the bassoon on it, Isaiah was always special to me. I liked.
Jared, one of my buddies, he's like, oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite songs. When we re-released it and added the video, and it's an epic song. I remember when we were recording it, we were just cracking up when we were writing.
I guess one of the fun things about playing that song as well was doing that switch from playing the bassoon, which seems like 8 minutes straight. I don't know how long the song is. It's like one of those songs that comes out of the 70s, it takes up the whole side of an LP.
It's a 6 to 7 minute song. Yeah, it's approaching Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah. But I think one of the things that made that song fun was that switch from playing the bassoon and then having to get to the drums. And sometimes we were doing a show where it was really like a crowded, weird stage and just difficult to do. And I'd have to take everything off of playing bassoon, set it down.
Yeah.
And then run back and try to get on my drum set. And at the same time, you're playing the next chord progression and you're watching. And if I'm not at the chair yet, I could tell you guys were playing as slow as you could. You just play slow. Is he there yet? Is he there? Okay.
Let's speed it back up.
The potato launcher.
The potato launcher.
Yeah.
So do you have specific memories of shows or stories from the band that you can think of that were particularly memorable?
It's just little fun moments. I remember we did a show I think it was in Pasadena, and it had the most crazy sound system with a bunch of subwoofers under the stage, and I'd hit the kick drum and your cup of water looked like Jurassic Park, rattling, stuff like that.
Wow.
And then we did another show there where these random ladies came off the street.
Yeah.
And I think they gave you a little bit of money or something because they just liked your ministry, and
wow.
And then they left. It was just the craziest thing. They heard it from out on the street.
Did you have any groupies?
Only one.
Only one? You think a band, you're like, oh yeah, you're gonna get the chicks now, right?
I doubt this young lady well, she's probably not young anymore. I doubt she'd ever see this video, but the very first show we ever did, when we were packing up, there was this girl that just kept hanging around us. I felt kind of awkward, we're 500 miles from home.
I remember the girl, and I thought she was interested in me. I think she was just going after anybody that would have her, right?
Probably that was the case.
So you got stuck with her.
Well, she gave me a bracelet, a friendship bracelet, and even wrote me a letter to Cal Poly where I was going to school.
Yeah.
And I just left it at that. I never pursued anything. And let her live her dreams, I guess, but it's kind of funny and embarrassing at the same time.
Yeah.
You know,
Do you have social media?
like a
Like if somebody wants to contact you?
I don't know who'd want to contact me anyway. Really.
Well, something you may have said. I don't know. That girl wants to probably contact. She's got a few things to say.
Yeah, she'll have to go through my wife.
That you broke her heart.
I remember that.
I think he was gonna be like, "Oh, let's do extemporaneous improvisation on stage."
That's your dad's
I was
word.
like, that's my dad's word. I was like no.
That was a cool dynamic too, though. Rehearsing at your dad's house.
Yeah.
You know, and then just all the soundproofing was a mattress against the door.
I was wondering, did we have, because we had a green olive tree canopy
Like
thing,
a blanket thing,
right?
whatever it was. Yeah.
Like made
Curtain.
the artwork. Like, did we throw that up over the mattress that went over the door?
I do not remember. But I feel bad for your dad. Every weekend we come in and steal his house and then blast music for
Well,
half the day.
He's a crazy music lover, so he was probably happy because
Well, he was always critical
yeah.
of us personally, but I remember him getting really excited when he came to that one show.
Yeah.
He came to that show and
Well,
he was
like,
"You guys, yeah, you had a moment. It was really cool. Your extemporaneous improvisation or whatever it was. You all had your moment." Yeah, that was the show that was near downtown Riverside, not too far from that place.
After that show where Isaiah was trying the extemporaneous improvisation, this kid approached me to do a show, and I'm like, yeah, we'll do a show. And then you guys had already planned to go to to Magic Mountain,
Oh,
right?
did we already have the tickets or something?
I don't know, but
It was more important to us.
no Jason and no Travis. So me and Joe had to do a show by ourselves.
Earlier, you just reminded me of that one show was just you and me. And it was like, I think I barely remember that, but I thought that was like really cool. That was just you and me actually doing a whole show that nobody else was able to make.
Well, what I think of when I see that, and I look back at that, and I told this to Jason as well, but Mike Stan from the Altar Boys,
Yes.
he went to Riverside Community College,
Yeah.
and I saw him on campus where I also went to college. You know, he got my AA.
Yeah.
And I did the same thing, like the kid at that other show. Hey man, you have any advice for me? You know, I went to Mike Stan from the Altar Boys. Hey, you have any advice? And my only advice is, man, just play anywhere and everywhere that you can.
Oh yeah.
Even if somebody wasn't available. I remember there was a show where Travis and Jason were going to Magic Mountain. I was like, all right, I'll do it by myself. And that might have been that show where
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was the show in San Diego that I did by myself and opened up for Prayer Chain, or if it was the show that I did with just you when they went to Magic Mountain. That's fine.
Yeah.
But the idea is, hey, Mike Stan said play anywhere and everywhere you can, even if I don't get all my band members. And what was really neat about that is that Todd Stevens, my buddy that I know through Bob Moon, who recorded all of our albums, we opened up for him, and then he was willing to play bongos
Oh yeah.
and back us up on that show. I like to throw real musicians behind me. You know, I'm very self-conscious about playing by myself.
Yeah.
And Joe, he's like melody. He's like swoopy, you know, sloshy.
Yep.
I need some rhythm back there. Well,
26 years later, I feel bad.
we opened up for XL and DVD. So Todd Stevens, and I'd like to get in touch with that guy too. Todd Stevens had bands with Bob Moon, you know, and they did music together. And he was we were the opening act for XL and DVD. Todd Stevens rapping. Would you play bongos for me?
Oh.
So we had, and he knew my song, so he's back there playing the bongos and singing backup, like not on a mic or anything, but he's just like grooving back there. So
that's cool.
That was fun, right?
That's cool. Yeah, and I tried several times to get fired from your band, didn't I?
Well, if you're not getting paid, you can't get fired.
Right? I remember we did one show, and it was in front of a bunch of like elementary/middle schoolers.
Yeah.
And when we finished, we couldn't leave fast enough. Everybody wanted our autograph, and I don't know why. I have no. Could you sign this? They were getting whatever piece of paper they could find. Could you sign this? Could you sign this? And I'm like, if you only knew.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
We must have really hit it for them, you know. I was like, man, they were the best thing ever. Sign this because they're going to be famous.
Yeah, no.
I swear I signed my name 30 times. I'm not kidding you.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, why am I signing again? I remember I was up against like a window of this church, and I had to sign on the glass, you know, like, here. Oh, you too? Here.
So ridiculous.
And their parents are standing around. Yeah, ask them. I'm like, oh, wow.
It's so absurd. Oh my gosh. And I remember I have terrible penmanship. I can't even write my name anymore. I'm sure it was so bad. Oh my gosh. It's ridiculous.
Right? Why they just pop in my memory? Oh, the goofy things.
Yeah, I don't know. It does every now and then. You think of like silly things, like when the stage was so small and we just barely fit.
Oh, there was six
like
of
a
us.
Bar downtown Hollywood or whatever.
Yeah, 6 of us jammed in the corner of the stage. And there was another show that I missed too, where you did in Hollywood. It was a bar.
We played at the back of the Coconut Teaser.
Yeah, that was.
And our name was on the marquee and everything.
Yeah. Oh, I played that show with you. Oh gosh, you made me think of another. We did another gig with a bunch of kids at a youth group or something, and we came out and we were trying to play some music, and these kids were riding in and out of skateboards, and they kept saying, "Why can't you play that song from Nirvana?" Like they wanted it. Smells like Team Spirit. They wanted us to play that, and we had no idea how to play that. So why? They kept asking us, play Smells Like Team Spirit. And then they ride off on their skateboard.
We're not a cover band.
No. Then there was a time we did a concert for a church that was doing some type of fasting.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't really get the hint that it was like a eat it or a sleep in or whatever it was.
Bad.
We're out on the sidewalk. Burgers and fries.
I smell French fries.
These poor kids are supposed to be fasting. They're supposed to be fasting, and we're out there.
Oh, so bad. So At that show, I found out later on, I joined a band and I played bass. And I'm not a bass player, but Joel Whitney had me join, I forget what it was called, the Collective or whatever. And the leader of that band was at that show. And he goes, yeah, I remember you. I liked your band name, Beauty for Ashes or whatever.
But that was it. Just the name.
That was as far as
Yeah.
it went. That was also the show where one of the things that I talked about was stepping on the kittens and
Yeah.
horrifying everybody. It was like, it's a good thing we're fasting because we just lost our appetite.
Wow, man.
Well, the moral of the story is that we are crushing innocence when Jesus died for our sins on the cross.
Right. That's so deep, man.
So it's an analogy somewhere in there. It made sense.
You get what I'm saying? And the middle schoolers are like, can you play Smells Like Teen Spirit?
Anyway.
Beauty for Ashes in the house, right? That one band, I remember that when we were in the audience where we opened up for him, and we were just jumping around and like we were moshing kind of, and the singer in the middle of the song said, "Beauty for Ashes in the house." Do you remember that show we did with that guy Roy Robb? And it was a show in L.A. And it really annoyed me that this guy's name was Roy Robb. Because this was after Rob Roy came out.
That's funny. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but you don't remember that show. And then, so I went to go, some guy was asking, he wanted some food. And I was like, okay. So I was going to walk with him to the store. There was this convenience store just like half a block down. I was going to walk with him. And somebody stopped me. He said, "Don't do that, no!" It's like, you're going to get mugged or jumped or something.
Oh, because we were in a bad area down
I think it was a bad area. And
a bunch of sheltered Christians down in the heart of LA at a golf event. We piggybacked on, I remember we got connected with Javelina Rail Company, and the girl in the band sang, and I don't know if she played bass, but she gave us her hey, book these places.
Yeah.
And one time we booked right after them. They played already, and then we played the same place, and they were already gone the same day, and we played the same place as them.
Yeah.
There was another one, though, that you played, and you were telling me like a week later, like, yeah, it's probably a good thing you didn't play with us that night. There were like drunk guys like falling asleep on the table and stuff, and it was one of those type of bars.
Was it when we played at the same place as Javelina Rail Company?
Maybe. Oh, I played that show. I played with Javelino on that show with you guys too, or with us.
I remember we like hit them up about where do you guys play, and they gave us a big list of places to go play.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Shut up! Stop talking, man!" When I was preaching, shut up and just play the music.
You guys weren't available for a show I did in San Diego. I opened up for Prayer Chain. And I played by myself, which I was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
And then Prayer Chain played, and they had all these technical difficulties.
Oh.
So they had a bad show.
Oh.
And I remember some kid came up to me and was like, "Oh man, you play good. How do you play so good? Whatever. If you have any advice for me."
Oh.
Well, I'm Jason. That's Joe. You're gonna see a lot more Joe Bacon. A lot less of me.
The Bacon's your
My
best.
part is done for now.
Let it go.
Yeah. All right.
Got it.
songs. Beautiful Ashes in the house.